in sixth grade when he was the new kid at our school. And I remember we had some kind of assignment, which could have been anything with the teacher we had, Mrs. Dark. Yeah, Michelle's laughing back there because she was in the class too. Oh, but you knew Mrs. Dark, okay. But we had an assignment we had to do, and where I lived, there was a dirt road, and then there was the other side of the dirt road, and they just happened to live on the other side of the dirt road. Literally, the school was farther away than where they lived, but my mom didn't want me crossing that dirt road. I don't know why. But I finally convinced her. I had an assignment. I had to work with Brett. I got his address. I went over. I knocked on the door. And I don't remember if it was Brad or Brian that answered the door. But I said, "Is this where Brett lives?" And they were like, "Yeah." And they call out Brett. I was not allowed to go to his house unless his parents were there. And at the time, I didn't realize it was just Mom. And I was assured Mom's there. She's in the kitchen. And Brett says, "Okay, let's get started." Well, I follow him into the bedroom. And I didn't realize that was a big taboo. That was a no-no. I realized that when Brian reached out to me, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I remember you." And I was like, "Okay." He said, "You went to Brett's bedroom, and girls were not allowed in the rooms." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I remember going to their house again later on, and I think it was just to go hang out, or it could have been even, I remember when I was in 8th grade, my brother and I both had a paper route too, and I probably had Brett come look at my bike to see if it was okay for me to use for my paper route. During that time period, I remember going to the house, and Brett had a chess set out, and he goes, "Do you play?" And I said, "Well, I know how." And he goes, "Okay, let's play." He beat me in 5 moves. And I can tell you, I probably didn't play again until I met my husband, and he beat me probably in 5 or 6 moves too, and I haven't played since. Brett was the first gentleman I had ever met. And, I thought it was sweet. There was one day after school when we were in high school, and I asked if I could get a ride home, and because I can't remember why my dad couldn't get me, and I didn't want to walk the 2 miles. And so he goes, "Yeah, I'll give you a ride home. It's on the way." And so he opened the car door, let me in, and I thought, "Oh, that's sweet." When we get to my house, he pulls up next to the curb, and I reach, and he goes, "You touch that door, I'll break your arm." And I was like, "Oh my." And I thought maybe there was something wrong with the door. He opened the door, he goes, "No lady who rides in my car is ever going to open their own door." And I thought that was the sweetest thing, and I'd never come across that again until I met this guy that I married, and he said practically the same thing. And so Brett just has always been a special part of my life. Being in band, meeting Carol and Brad, and later on going to church with Carol and Brad, this family's been a big part of my life for a very long time. So for me, I'm glad to see how many lives Brett touched over the years and how involved he was with so many different people.